Hogan Gidley joins us now, along with Mark Paoletta, a former lawyer for President George H.W. Bush and co-author of the book Created Equal, Clarence Thomas in His Own Words. Good to see you guys. Mark, I want to start with you. They want Alito to recuse himself over this. Quite rich when you think of all the obvious political conflicts of interest we have seen in our judicial system, especially of late.
Rob, thanks for having me. The left hates the Supreme Court because they no longer control it, and they want to take out justices so that they have their preferred liberal justices deciding the important cases. And there is no reason for Justice Alito to recuse. The only reason a justice should recuse is if with respect to a family member, is if they're a party to a case, a lawyer in a case, or they have a financial interest in the case. The fact that his wife has political views, and again, we don't know why she flew the flag the way she did, but even if it were flown for her views on January 6th or her views on the 2020 election, that would be absolutely fine. That is no basis at all for a justice to recuse. And I've written a ton on this, and there are numerous examples of liberal justices sitting on cases where their wives were very involved. In fact, one of the most celebrated cases, if you will, was Judge Reinhardt, probably the most liberal judge on in the federal circuits, Ninth Circuit. He was considering a case that had to do with the Proposition 8, which was a same-sex marriage ban in California. His wife, who was the head of the ACLU chapter out there, filed a brief in the courts below urging it to be struck down. That case came up to him, and he refused to recuse. Right? He said, her views are hers, mine are mine. I can do my job.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Hogan, I want to get to Hogan real quick. I mean, this has been something, the upside-down flag has been used a number of times in the history of this country. It was used protesting Vietnam. This is not the first time. It's like a signal of distress or perceived distress from some political side in this country. But, you know, Hogan, it's funny how they always go to these symbols that they believe in. And it reminds me, you know, I mean, what they did to the Betsy Ross flag just a few years ago when they told us that was racist. You know, and it was so funny. I actually put one up on my own house because I thought, I was like, that's the most ridiculous. The original colonial flag is racist now. I'm going to hang one up. But I mean, how ridiculous do they look when they make claims like this?
Yeah, not to mention the fact, as you'll recall, a lot of videos and pictures emerged after that claim with the Betsy Ross flag right behind Barack Obama in his speech after winning an election with the Betsy Ross flag behind it. So I guess he's some crazy person, too. Look, flying that flag upside down, you know, as you can see in any, you know, flag culture is for fear of distress, fear of life, fear of destruction of property. And if you're staying next to someone who, by all accounts and reports by other folks out there, says that this guy approached Alito's wife, called her the C word, went off, vulgar language, I'd be a little concerned, too. So it's well within her rights to do this. It's absolutely insane for the left to be so apoplectic about something that they themselves are guilty of doing all of the time.
Yeah.
They never recuse them. I mean, we're just going through a case right now in New York where the judge's daughter raises millions of dollars for dinner. I mean, they never recuse themselves when there's a clear conflict, clear bias.
And as we've delineated on this show, that election, what they did with the voting rules, what the governors did going around the law, there was a filthy, dirty election, and it was a very, very close one as well. Hogan Gidley, good to see you. Thank you so much. Mark Paoletta, good to see you. Update.